Are we coming back?
All right.
I'm not.
I was just beginning to wonder.
Yeah, I'm slow with my back problems, man.
Well, I mean, being pregnant, you are not at the optimal control over when you can do what you need to do.
No. It's very different going through it in your 30s and very different going through it with spine problems. Gosh. But it's worth it. Absolutely worth it. That's why I think moms, they're kind of psychopaths because they go through all this pain and then they're like, yeah, I'll do it again.
Right. Right. There's that, like, there is something too that endorphins and other things and chemicals, really your brain processes and forgets those kinds of things and just remembers moments of joy. And it's not for everybody, but in a lot of cases that does tend to be a true reality. So just an aside there, with the pregnancy, because of back issues, are you going to need to make sure you have a cesarean section or you induce or any of those kinds of things?
Yeah, so we're actually seeing a lot of specialists because I have a heart condition. I've got, I've had major abdominal surgery, so that's a whole thing. I've had 2 major abdominal surgeries. And then with spinal things, I will actually be able to get an epidural, praise the Lord.
Okay, that's why I was thinking you might not be able to. Okay.
It's very close. So where they put the epidural is actually just 1 vertebrae up from where my spinal issues start. So I don't know how effective it will be, but they're going to try.
Okay.
And as far as I know, they're not planning on a cesarean, praise God, unless something happens. And inducing, they've talked about inducing. The last time we saw a high-risk doctor, which was last week, they said he wants me to try to get to 38 weeks, which kind of made it sound like they wanted to induce me. So I'm going to talk to our OB this week about it. So we've got multiple appointments each week.
Well, yeah, as you get closer to the end, they happen more frequently. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Especially with other things.
And being 35 or over, they just zoom in.
Yeah, they call it this is so rude. They call it a geriatric pregnancy.
Yes,
I know they're being like technical and scientific terms, but it's like, come on.
Okay. Geriatric is beyond the normal range of age. That's all geriatric means. But but in common vernacular, you just mean
it's mean.
It just means old.
You don't say that to a Southern woman. Daggone. Where's their manners?
Talk about contextualization.
Yeah, exactly. It's out of the context that most people think about it, but in medical context, it's not. I'm
I'm barely over.
Yeah.
30, just turned 36. Come on now. That's what it feels like, being pregnant senior. Like, what the heck? 36
what is this, Sarah?
Old, man.
Sarai?
Right. Making me feel like Sarah over here. Jeez.
Yeah, that was a deal there, man.
Yeah, talk about geriatric pregnancy.
But we had a OB appointment this last week with the high risk, and we had a ultrasound and growth scan, and she's doing perfect. We had a bunch of genetic testing done. Everything's great. She's doing wonderful.
Awesome. Super glad to hear that. Yeah, I know. You gotta watch out for I'm watching you people. She'll bust it.
That's hilarious.
So we were just getting to the point of the 2 of you meeting. So how did that happen? Because I'll say I picked up on something a little bit there, but then when we got down the road to NCMS, I'm like, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, a lot of people picked up on it before we even really realized it. So it was interesting. All right, do you want to start or you want me to start?
I'll start a little bit. Only because you've gotten to tell the story so many times to your chat.
It's my favorite one. Besides the Bible.
It's my favorite story too. Outside the Bible, yes. So going to NCMS the first day, everybody's kind of meeting each other. Not NCMS, Reach. I do that sometimes. I switch it up. Going to Reach the first day when everybody's meeting each other that Friday. she was kind of like, for lack of a better term, a Christian streaming celebrity at the time. A lot of people came to see her.
Yes.
And she was a big mover in the space of like getting people to come.
Yeah.
So, you know, she was kind of like on the list of people that were gonna be part of events and do those things just because of that. And whenever I first saw her, I'd known about her. I'd been in her streams a few times. I like noticed how sweet she was, and it's one of those things you assume that like the good Christian women who are streamers are taken. Like you just assume, like you're just like, oh, they're interesting. They probably have a husband, you know, and when they're, you know, I think that's
he
just
was
part of
married too.
right. It's part of like, I think part of it was the mentality I was into of knowing my age and also knowing like at this point in the game, a lot of people who are marriageable are married. So I kind of just part of that was assuming, but when I saw her, she was had like almost like a little posse and crowd around her to meet her, and she was just sifting through people to say hi, and she's sweet and loves to love on people. So I kind of was like saw her across the room and was like, ooh, I'm gonna go meet her, and kind of just waited in the wings because Jate and I had a seat.
We got a
JC
raid
Girl
coming
Sarah rating. Yeah, rating with 4 viewers. Thank you for coming in. We are in the middle of doing kind of a recap with the cap of just everything from how we started in streaming and how we met and kind of our goals in the future.
She can't hear you on your stream.
That is it. Oh, there we go. Sorry. I had a particular part of OBS muted. So yes, welcome in, Sarah. Thank you for the raid. Always appreciate it. And thank you for the help with the technical difficulties. We are doing a recap with the flat cap about our time starting to stream, why we streamed, and how we met. And now we're about to talk about, continue talking about how we met and what we plan on doing in the future. So it's been something we've been planning for, that flat cap has tried to get us to do for months, and we're just slow movers. But we've had it on the books for a few weeks now. Thank you for that shout out. Yeah, that's your first time, JC, girl Sarah, to have your, because I have the personal shout outs that play music, and if they give me a certain song that they want to play during it, I put it in my stream elements, and it played hers, so I'm sure she got a kick out of that too. But we're covering how we met at Reach right now. So thanks for joining in. It's been a good time. And yeah, thanks for being part of the community and being a good sister to my wife.
Love her.
So when it comes to the reason that we even got it kicked off is I went over to her. Me and Jate had a little side chair while we were doing, I think it was right after we did Two Truths and a Lie. And we'd all gone up on stage and did that, and then right after that, people were congregating, and I kind of waited in the wings for her to get done, and I kind of inserted myself real fast and said, "Hi, I'm G Funk Railroad." And so, you know, there's always initial kind of attraction, initial chemistry.
Right.
But she was fairly busy during that time, so I didn't have much room to really kind of interact. So the first day there wasn't much going on when it came to kind of our interaction, and you know, the afterwards hanging out in the hotel lobby and everything.
Yeah, it was one of those things where we were like, and we both agreed, like we had this magnetic like attraction, but we weren't like gonna move on that because he assumed I was married, I assumed he was married, and we were just like, it's one of those things where you're just constantly aware of where a certain person is all the time. It was kind of like that, just like this magnetic thing.
It's really interesting, Flat Cap, because the way that this is going to go is you'll understand how present you were for the moments, because
he actually was way more than he knows.
Right, because the second day is when we really interacted, and it was when we were in the snack room.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so we were all hanging out, talking, and she was there, and she had people come up to her talking while we were all kind of geeking out. She was inserting herself where she could get in with us all jabbering.
Because I wanted to get in on the theology talks.
I know, and I kept trying to bring you in too, you know.
Yeah.
And then we would just geek out on something really like nerdy, and we have to bring it back down.
I want to listen to this.
So that was really the first time that we were interacting.
Tell me about the coffee.
Well, you know, actually, see, I did not know that was the first time that the two of you had interacted at all.
Exactly. That's
because
what I mean.
to me, it felt a whole lot more like you had already knew each other.
Familiar.
Yeah, there was that level of, hey, there's connection. You must know each other. So I did not know that was the first time the two of you were really chatting for the first time. But yeah, I noticed that. I'm like, oh, I guess the two of you know each other.
Yeah, connection's the right word because it's kind of automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, undeniable.
But yeah, so I'd already I made coffee that day because I saw her with I called her Caffeinator Steph right off the bat because I saw her with a refilled Dutch Brothers coffee every time I looked. It was back full, like it was
exhausted.
Yeah. And she's a coffee not connoisseur, but she loves coffee. I've kind of turned her into a coffee connoisseur.
Snob.
So I made coffee. I brought I brought my beans that I like to use. I brought a grinder and I brought my own kettle so that I could make my own coffee and share with people. That's mainly the reason why, so I could share with people. And I had brought a little thermos to keep it in, and I had thought about bringing it for different people, but I thought about bringing it for her because of that. So whenever we were in that little green room or snack room, I just offered it to her, and it's funny because this is exactly like her. I put honey in it, and it was just black coffee with honey, and she does it with cream, and this is how much she like how sweet she is. She was like drinking it, she's like drank it just the way it was, but she's just like, I prefer cream. But that just shows you how kind of like endeared she was by the fact I would give her something or think of her like that. So
yeah, it was good. I really liked it.
There was that, and then she was hungry, and she was trying to get certain. So I started suggesting snacks to her and geeking out about nutrition. And
yeah, that's another thing we connected on was nutrition.
Those are the fun little things on our meeting, and you can pick it up from there because I know that the second day there was a lot, and I don't want to have.
Yeah, the second day we were much more familiar with it. Well, he actually got a picture with me, asked for a picture with me on the first day, and he didn't take many pictures.
I took 2 photos of people on my phone.
Yeah. I was endeared by that, and actually wanted a picture with him too, so I'm glad he did that. And we were talking about like games we play, and I was like, hey, do you play Overwatch? And he says, he looks at me, he goes, he's like, if anyone could get me to play it, you could.
I told you I'd been playing with Trevor. Trevor does every day of the week he would have a different game he'd play with community. And Saturdays were Overwatch, and it's the one day I never downloaded that game in a year and a half because I was like, I don't really want to. I just didn't want to get into it. It was too much like Apex. I knew I had to figure out a new character and there's all their special skills and fit it in. Yeah. And it seemed like a lot of work. So I kind of always blocked that in my mind from something that I would play. And then that's why I said that. So it meant a lot more than just like, I hadn't thought about it. It was like, I'd thought about it, but I was like, okay, well, if this cute girl's going
to. The second day, we were much more comfortable with each other and, vibing with each other. At the time, I was actually seeing someone else, and that was going horribly. And I was like, I'm going to have to break it off with this guy because he was being really terrible to me. And it wasn't like a serious relationship or anything. We had went on one date, but we had been talking a lot. He was in the Christian gaming space too. So I wasn't even really open to dating or even looking for anything like that. But like our connection with each other was just so big at the time. So I was trying to like keep him at a distance, but like be friendly too and get to know him. Cause I thought he was, a very intelligent, well-spoken, just kind-hearted man. And the second day I remember him coming up to me randomly and just spinning me around like you would, when you're dancing. And it took me by surprise. And I was just so flattered, kind of swept me off my feet a little bit. I was like, goodness. He's very charismatic and just charming like that. Just typical charming Garrett. So there's that part. What else, honey?
Really, that was like so there was
And we played board games that night with
right.
everybody.
One other thing is whenever I was I kind of was geeking out about nutrition and stuff and trying to like tell her about certain things. I was just like, I'm an oversharer, so sometimes I get a little self-conscious about it. And so she kind of got pulled off to the side for a second after I'd been sharing a lot, and she was like, very endearing and talking, and then she kind of got distracted, and I almost to myself took it as like I'm being too much. I need to kind of back off. So I went and did
a lot from people.
Yeah, so I went and did some other things, and then I came back with my camera and did all that, and I just apologized to her, and it's one of the first times that I remember, and it's been like this ever since, like where I think I'm too much, and she's just like, no, never thought that. Like, what do you mean? It's okay.
Right.
No, I loved it.
And that's like because and you might understand this, Flat Cap, with personalities that like to share a lot. Especially geek out, there's certain people who take that as like you're a know-it-all,
right?
That you just, and I've always like that's not the heart I have. That's not the whole point. I don't think that I'm right. I just like to talk about what I've learned or what I know, and that was one of the first things that I would bring up to her, and she's just like, oh no. So like that's one of the things that made me feel accepted. And like know that she's special compared to people I've met.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then the board games that night, yes, because reach was quick. That's the whole thing. That if we would have had days, it would have been maybe even different. We had Friday, we had Saturday, we were gone. So much going on. She had the painting thing. I think that's another thing. Is I was the videographer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes.
So I got to be on stage and kind of like go around with my camera and videotape. So it was.
I remember talking about while you were there, that was another thing that was actually, Garrett really encouraged me in a big way that he didn't even know at the time. But I was talking with some people that had came from my community, some leaders, and I was talking about going on stage to do the painting thing, and I was so nervous about that. And I was talking about being insecure about my smile. I just got my braces put on, and Garrett had overheard it and looks at me and he goes, "No, you're beautiful, beautiful," like that. And coming from a VTuber side of things where you're so hidden to being like very public, it was just really encouraging and actually gave me a lot of confidence in that moment. That was a really charming thing.
And she had actually just gotten braces, and she was feeling, anybody who's had braces, especially like I had braces eighth grade. Anybody who's had braces has this whole like aversion to wanting to show it. And you have this like kind of like subconscious thing of not wanting to smile that much and everything. And I would told her she had a beautiful smile. And she's like, but the braces, I'm like, no, don't worry about it. Like it's fine. And that was another thing you said had kind of encouraged.
Yeah, that was an insecurity that I had going into Reach for sure. I kept trying to smile with not showing teeth, like It was awkward.
So we had sat together that Saturday night for board games that we did in the hotel lobby together afterward. And we were kind of around each other, but we didn't do any like in-depth, like direct, like deep discussion because it was kind of in a group.
Right.
So we got to be around each other. We enjoyed each other's company. It was really just at that point and into the next day when everybody had to leave. I stayed until Monday, so I got to hang out with a couple different people and go to church at Roman's church and everything. That was fun. But we kind of didn't get to interact much past that. But we did both kind of mental note on like that being the most like standout connection that we had.
Yeah. I even was telling my chat about it, not from like a romantic point of view, but I was, they were wanting to know all about Reach. And I was like, someone I connected with a lot that I didn't expect was G Funk Railroad. And I was talking about how nice you were and how it impacted me and encouraged me. And then he shows up in chat and I was like, oh, hi.
Yeah, I definitely made it a point to come around. And yeah, from there, it kind of just like me being in the community and enjoying, and then also get to minister her in her chat, minister to people, and mostly with just Bible verses, different things like that. And then I started kind of DMing her to just talk about random things or kind of just keep connection going. Started with Overwatch because you promised it. And then she kind of said, well, I promised him this and he's going to, you guys can rotate out, but he stays. Like, so.
We had planned it.
Okay.
And I liked you a little bit. Okay.
Well, I told her she's going to have to carry me. And she said, well, hop in my pretty pink backpack and I'll carry you. And I was like, okay.
I did too.
She did. And it was great. It was a great night, kind of a semi-reach thing too, because we started playing and then Aki raided, and then I think Aki and Jate and a couple other people hopped in and we all played Overwatch together.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, that was so fun.
And we were on, the post reach high of everybody rating each other and getting to know and following each other, and so that was all part of it too. But that was the 6th to the 9th, I think, of September. Whenever Reach was, and then it's like time, like I don't know how it worked because we started kind of like talking about a week later in DMs and like kind of getting to know each other when it came to just like wanting to this connection. Okay, there's a connection. Let's talk more. Let's pick each other's brains and enjoy each other's company. And that was just through like text. It wasn't even like a call until like a couple weeks later. And our first night, it was in the just to bring up that kind of unhealthy relationship. She'd kind of been treated bad and was having a hard time with it. And then she like messaged me and we started talking about that, and I encouraged her.
Her prayer,
Asked for prayer, and she was like, I usually don't do this, but for some reason wanted to, like, she's like, I don't usually share this kind of stuff with somebody that I just met. And I'm just like, felt very encouraged. She trusted me that much. And then whenever it was later on that night, it was funny because I said, we were being flirty. Like, we had flirty moments because, like, there was one part that was very fun because I said, what was it? Yeah, she said something, and I was like, I'm not going to question a Southern woman. I was like, I know better than to argue with a Southern woman. And she said, cute and smart. And that's the first time that I ever knew she even liked me. That's how much I was like not believing that there was like
oblivious.
Yeah, how dudes are. So I just like the connection, but I think guys kind of hesitate to think that a girl actually likes them. And then the first night that we spoke on the phone, it ended up being a 6 or 7 hour conversation.
Yep.
And I had to get up to go serve brunch the next day, and I was up first all-nighter I'd ever done, even since college. and walked straight into work with her on the phone and got off the phone walking into work. So that was all very unique to me, and just sharing it with all the people I worked with, my friends and everything. They're just like, "Oh, is there something there?" I'm like, "I don't know. I get, yeah. I mean, there's."
And we dove deep into
Mm-hmm.
theology, wondering where we're at with like deep things, like real life things. We did not hold back it wasn't like a surface level conversation in any way. And even before that 6-hour conversation, we were texting just constantly back and forth in deep conversation, and had so
Mm-hmm.
many rabbit trails that we couldn't even keep up in text with each other. So we're just like,
oh, nice.
we need to just call because this is a lot. It was, that was the big spark, I think.
Yeah,
Kim got it. He said, "Y'all are too geriatric to hold back."
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we're in our 30s, dude.
Exactly. You know what you want.
Ain't nobody got time to mess around. So.
No. And we lined up on every single thing.
Yeah,
like,
politics, everything. We tried to figure out where would there be any kind of issue when you start to be like, okay, when you start comparing it to your ideal, marriage partner kind of thing. So
lined up on theology, gaming, photography, like our whole dream of like what we want to do with farming and self-sustainability. Lined up a lot on nutrition. Our personalities were just bouncing off each other. So it was just fireworks, really.
When you have a conversation and you need to get up in the morning and you can't hang up the phone and you just got to keep chatting. I mean, there's something going on there. That's pretty funny, because that's what my wife and I had. Like, the first time we had a conversation was driving back from a party to go to campus, and I was just dropping her off, and why she got in the car, she says this because she felt sorry for me, and I'm like, nah, because I was just that cool and dapper that everybody, I had Riz, so everybody wanted to come with me.
Exactly, you got that Riz.
Yeah,
man.
so we get to the dorm to drop her off, and we sat in the car in the cold for like 2-3 hours talking. Like, we had a 40-minute drive, and then we sat there for hours talking, and then she finally went into the dorm, and I went off to another party that I was planning to go to for work. And then I got there, and all I did until whatever time it was, 6 in the morning, is talk to my friend Booger about this girl I just met. So.
Oh my gosh.
So you're just saying that, and I just go, oh, this sounds familiar. This makes sense. That just
God.
instant connection that that God can give you with people.
Yeah, never felt it with anyone in my life.
Yeah. So same here. And when it comes to like how that progressed, there's it's really weird. Okay, so God works in all things for the good for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. So the whole point that we have in all this is that this isn't something that we like forced, or it's literally been like carried along, and God's put us in each other's faces in situations that could only end up here. One thing we like to say is, one thing that we've said and that we continually come back around to is that we kind of have like this little geeky kind of like Marvel / science kind of thing where you say, God, every multiverse, God would have us together kind of thing.
Yeah.
Very romantic, but it's also very true. The feeling of knowing that like God's been orchestrating it so much, how could it be any other way? And also wondering all the different things that we've been through individually and things before. And, like I said, with all the denials of jobs and opportunities and, veering off the path and coming back on at the right time and all these different, like it happened at that time for a reason. So it was only 2 weeks and a couple days. Actually, it was 3 weeks to the day, basically, of reach, if not a day before 3 weeks, that the hurricane hit.
Yeah.
We had been talking. Literally, it was the day before we talked about NCMS, because she was like, we wanted to have a chance to see each other again in person after having realized this connection, explored it, and enjoying each other's company. So we like wanted a chance. She's like, oh, well, I'll just come out for NCMS. Like, I'll start finding a way to do it. I'll
fundraise for it. Yeah.
I'll fundraise for it. We can make it happen. Started talking about dates. Not like going on dates necessarily, but like dates of flying in and all those different things. And we did bring up the idea of going on a date, but we're just like, we just need to like meet up with each other. We're still playing it very paced, and
I was a lot more hesitant.
Obviously,
Garrett definitely pursued me. He was not afraid to go after what he wanted. And he knew that there was this awkward side of it where I was kind of seeing a toxic person. I went on total 2 dates with him. But because of things in my life and the trauma that I had been through in marriage, I was having a hard time having that conversation with this person of setting a boundary. That was very difficult for me to do. And it was like an impending thing, even before I met Garrett, that it's something that I needed, that was necessary. And I was a hesitant person to let anyone in anyway, because of a lot of things that I won't get into. But Garrett pursued me in a way that was fearless, but also not pushy, not desperate, in patience, and just, I would say it was a love like Jesus in a romantic way. And there was something in me that knew, like, the way that he showed care for me and patiently met me in every single thing and was not afraid to chase me down with goodness like that.
I like that
I was
image.
like,
Chase you down with goodness. I like that.
yes. I was like, especially with all his efforts with the hurricane stuff, I was like, there's no way that I could not give this man a chance.
Well, just
like, there's no way.
Yeah. Tag in there a minute. So yeah, the hurricane does happen, and Reach Conference hears about what's going on for you. And there's instantly a bunch of us saying, how can we help? And what do we do? And then just trying to rally as Christian community to help you be able to get back up and streaming. And then all of a sudden G Funk says, oh, well, I will order everything and I'll drive it to her to make sure it's set up. And I'm like going, that seems a little bit of a far drive to do that. There's somebody else surely
from
was closer.
Colorado.
27 hours.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe I was reading the conversation in the room right.
Most people said that they just knew it when we were just like, I was like, I'm just gonna, I was so oblivious. We were like so oblivious to how that would look, even though we were like, okay.
It's only 27, but it's also exactly something I would do too. It's 27 hours. I'll drive that. No big deal.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. Like, literally, okay, we weren't even like officially dating.
Right.
She hadn't given in to the idea of like my pursuit of her completely. She saw my heart, recognized it. Before the trip, I was already telling her, before the hurricane, I was telling her that she's exactly what I would have wanted in a wife. That she's exactly what I wanted to have in a wife. It was solid. I felt God's spirit. She had already told me about going on a date with another guy. I had to wrestle with that, with the idea of like, okay, Lord, hold on loosely, don't let go. Like, let the Lord, whatever you want, Lord. This is what you want. If it's better for someone else, I don't care what I'm seeing, what I'm connecting, what I'm feeling. Like, I had to give it over to him, which was hard, but it was also like, it's good because you don't have to control it. You don't have
cried to God about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to think that you met somebody who's perfect for you, and then you have to let them go, which I was willing to, especially because before that, I was already willing to be single. And I think that's a good lesson for anybody listening. Like, to be willing to submit to God enabling you to be single, is something that's hard, but it can come with blessing. But the whole point is, like, if the Lord can do more with you being with someone, if you can be equally yoked in that way, then you can trust that God will do it. So I was already telling her these things before that. So whenever the hurricane hit, we were literally on a text thread the night that it was happening, and she was like, trees are falling, it's scary, I don't know what's happening. You know, I hate when this happens. I hate hearing these trees fall. I hate all this. And then it's like radio silence at like 3 a.m. on that Friday morning. And she was out of contact till the next Monday. And that whole time I'm sitting there Facebook grouping. She sent me a photo of like, oh, I'm on my way home this thing, like a week before. And I saw her.
I've got a raid coming in here.
Yeah.
We're all taking turns.
Let's do it, exactly.
As always, coming in with a raid. Thank you. Sly Fever, welcome in. Sunshine Faith, good to see you, friend. Do you hear echo? Let me know if there's an echo. I hope not. As always, good to see you. Let's see, did I miss anybody? If not, welcome in. Oh, you're here twice, that's why. That's what you meant. I wanted to know if there was a real technical issue there. You were just lurking. So I got you. You're teasing there. So anyway, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Those that don't know, Church.digital here. I'm Flat Cap Dapper Pastor. I'm usually hanging out on this channel, having podcasts with people talking about how did they get started in doing Twitch and how and when did they make a decision to do this as ministry. And then we just chat about how that has gone for them. So welcome in.
Slave Fever just followed.
Thank you for the follow. I'll go through all of my follows later when we go to wrap up the stream. But we're talking with G Funk and Sassinator Steph, and we've just got into the fun part of their story of getting together and dating, and we're at the part where, hey, there's a hurricane coming through, and now all communication has been cut off because, well, all the cell towers are destroyed, I guess. Sure, that's probably
basically
why. Yeah.
Internet's down, cell towers are down.
Yep.
Everything. Radio didn't even have radio. It was it was the most horrific thing to go through. You know, I talked about my spine problems. We sorry.
It's okay.
We had to abandon all of our animals. As a farm girl, that broke my heart, broke my kids' hearts. We had to pack up whatever we could carry and go seek help. And we had to hike through mountains because the roads were gone. We saw houses floating down rivers. We saw other horrific things that I can't even mention. And ended up in homeless shelters with no contact. And it was just really horrible. I don't want to expand on that because I will just get torn up talking about it. But,
right.
Garrett, you can pick it up from there because you kind of figured out where I was. And
yeah, so she had sent me a photo about a week before that with like her going home from a major city in the area, and it had her GPS on there, and all I had was the time to the destination and the exit she was taking, and I knew the population of the town she was nearest by because she said it was like 1,600 people. And so I took all that information and did my research, and I actually like guessed it. And I wasn't sure until later, but I was like, oh, I was right. I even reached out to DJ, one of her really good mods, and he was a loyal mod because I asked where she was. I asked if this was it, and especially with the history of guys.
Yeah, I hadn't even given my phone number yet or anything.
Right, that was the hard thing. And I already told her that I would send her a care package is what I call it. and I was meaning to get her address, and I would have had it if I would have, actually, she would have given it to me. She trusted me at that point to give her a care package, but like, I didn't do it. And he was like a little skeptical at first, but then we came together on it and praying for her and worry for her, because everybody in her community was so worried. Everybody who even knew her was worried, because no contact for 3 days is a lot.
I didn't even know if my family was okay. Yeah, it was horrible.
So yeah, I mean, it was completely, in my experience, which was nothing like hers, this like scrambling every day, looking at Facebook groups for the city I thought she might have been in, looking at all these stories, trying to figure it out, trying to like plan. We go through the messages every once in a while of all the string of messages I was sending her on Discord about, I'm gonna get a truck. You can't stop me. Like, I swear I'm gonna do things stupid. I'm coming. So there was already this whole like all in kind of like mentality with me.
He came in hero mode, man. Full force, just hero mode.
So the next Monday, I was doing delivery driving for Jimmy John's, and I got a call from her, and it was just like, it was so good, because we knew God. Okay, here's the thing. We knew already what God was doing in her stream and ministry, and he brought her through so much crap before. It's like just trusting that God's gonna do what he does, and that he would be so glorified by continuing in that. So me and the people we were talking with, who were all worried, we were all just having faith and praying, and then once that happened, it was like, we never gave into despair, but it was also such a relief to hear that she was okay. And then over the next 2 weeks, it was kind of like it felt like. Go ahead.
This was a weird moment, and I think it was a God moment.
Redeemed J Gaming just followed.
When, like, the way that I was even able to contact him, we had to hitchhike around town, and not many people were giving rides because there was no gas. There was very limited transportation. There was no signal anywhere, and we were desperately searching for somewhere around where somebody had Starlink that we could use to contact our loved ones. And everyone around was in a panic to do that, and then coming back together in the evening at the shelter. So we had tried so many places, and someone offered to take me to their house, because I was also trying to find my son. My oldest son was staying with someone, and I couldn't get in touch with him. Didn't know if he was okay. He randomly showed up at the shelter where I was doing intakes for the Red Cross, because the Red Cross couldn't get people there because there was no communication. And I knew that we would not have funding in our county unless someone counted the intake. So that was a whole thing. And I was just stepping in where I could, because I couldn't just sit there and not help, And my son shows up and runs to me, and it was just the most amazing, incredible moment. That he was okay. Fast forward to us looking for internet and stuff to check on my mom and my dad, my siblings. When I finally got my phone connected to this person that was being really kind and compassionate to me and my kids, I opened up my phone. After it was connected, I swiped up, and it started calling Garrett on Discord. I didn't even click it. And I was like, what the heck? And Garrett answered immediately, and we were both like just crying because it was so much, and he had heard everything that was going on, and got to get in touch with my family. They were okay. And you could pick it up from there, but wanted to give like background to how impactful it was. Like, I feel like that was just such a God moment.
Yeah, every step. So we went through like a week she went through about a week in the shelter, right? Sleeping on a cot with her back hard, but like getting as much service as she could from the Starlink or whatever she could find. We had got to talk a good amount considering that.
Son hacked into the
De facto hacked, yeah.
the police officer's Starlink, and he shared the code, the password with me, so I was able to actually communicate, but I had to keep it secret so people wouldn't know. They weren't letting the people at the shelter use it, which I was upset about because I was like, all these people don't even know if their family's alive.
Right.
Have some compassion. Start a line or something if you're worried about it getting clogged up or something. But they weren't doing that. They were keeping it for the people there, or the law enforcement that was there. So my son being savvy, it's like, here. It's like, okay. Anyways, so go ahead, Garrett.
So that was about a week. She got to go end up staying with her sister and her dad a bit, but settled down with her sister.
Which was
and it's kind of another God thing because her sister had been waiting for years for fiber internet. And literally within weeks of her being there, they ended up getting it. And then that's where over the next few months, she was able to stream from her sister's house. And so there's just so many different things that line up with timing. But after about a week there, she got to her sister's. And then a week after that is when I was able to play. It felt like forever because I was felt like I was waiting and waiting and waiting to be able to go. But it was only 2 weeks after the hurricane that I was able to actually plan it and get out there. I had before I even knew she was okay, I ordered Starlink and got a mobile Starlink so I could go out there. I mean, I had all these grandiose plans of what I might do, like rent a truck, drive out there. If they need help, I'll have Starlink. I'll help people on the way. I'll do whatever, plan.
Yep.
And so I brought that out there. Now, just to kind of clarify, Ray, who's in this community, was one of the leaders within the Reach server. She actually got invited to Reach server because she's one of Stephanie's mods, was already so gung-ho, and she's such a leader anyway. She's such a a go-getter that she was already in communication with Stephanie and in communication with the community, and she started kind of coordinating things in the Reach server in this little secret channel that Stephanie wasn't invited to for reasons, so that we could actually plan things. So she led a lot of it. I was helping with the coordination because I was in contact with Stephanie a lot too. So really the needs were put out there and people just jumped on it.
Yeah.
Ray, for the most part, pretty much all the way, got these Amazon wish lists going for what she needed to stream, and a bunch of people just jumped
in. We had nothing, for context. We had very little clothing. I was able to grab my medicine, but there wasn't a way to get more of it because of everything. We were in deep need because there was no way we could get back to, and my sister lived hours away from my farm where we were at, and the travel was impossible. So yeah, that's why the fundraisers were a huge deal. Cause we didn't even have toothbrushes. And then all of my income was cut off, immediately cut off. And right before the hurricane, I had spent my last $300 to get groceries, which we had to throw all out because we had to leave.
Yeah.
Right, and that's because you knew the hurricane was coming and you're trying to get something to hamper down with.
I thought there would be a little flooding, but did not. Nobody knew it was going to be like that.
So when it comes to the people who stepped up, there's so many people who stepped up and did fundraising for Stephanie, and there's people, Jate and Stratus bought her a streaming computer laptop. There's a bunch of people. I can't even go through it.
Just followed.
Everybody pitched in. Everybody was so Flat Cap was saying, came together, just hands and feet of Jesus. It was such a testimony to what Reach had been and what.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Reach didn't stop there. That was kind of like a show that God had been moving.
Instrumental during one of the hardest things.
And to cap it
Envy
all off, we saw one of the biggest kind of people in Christian gaming, Pastor Susie, who is not too big to come and do things for people, and he's never gotten too big. I don't care how big he ever gets, he's never gonna stop being a humble servant. He did a stream and blew it out of the water for Stephanie and her family. It's our family now, but at the time it was just her and her kids. And honestly, for full disclosure, was not getting much support from her family. So
None.
it was completely
Not a dime.
right.
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean the support of a place to stay, about as far as they went.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a lot of complex things behind that, but the whole idea is still
a lot of verbal abuse and
and yeah, hard, and honestly like double digits of people staying in the same house, so has its own things. But Pastor Susie, it was way more than anybody expected, to be honest. I'm not even sure he expected.
Right.
So that really kind of like carried her over into being able to stream, and the gap, as you said earlier. I mean, people take away time voluntarily and lose support. This was not voluntary.
Exactly.
And it was for about 2 months, I think, that you weren't streaming, or a month and a half. I don't know exactly, but that was impactful. She's mentioned it multiple times, how it was just like, So you can talk about that, please.
Just not being able to stream. It was very stressful. Well, first of all, like that was my support system. Like I'm grateful that my sister let me stay there, but that was not support outside of that. Actually, I was berated a lot, and so were my children. It was a lot, and not having any form of income to even get toothbrushes was very hard. But like the people that I get so choked up. This is so personal to me, but the people that I leaned on throughout all this time, where God was working on me with vulnerability and giving me my village, I had no access to. And so when I had internet to at least speak to them, it was just something that I clung to God first and foremost. But God created us for community. He created us to be part of the body, not off on our own. And that was really hard to be away from that, not just to get comfort from them, but it hurts to not be able to pour out too. To have that all just kind of bottled up was really tough. And the income side of things, that was very scary, because I was like, I don't know when I'll ever be able to stream again. Don't know how when we'll ever be able to return to the farm. And I know I've got to get out of here, and how am I gonna move or get a rental? It was just a lot going on, and FEMA was so slow to help anybody. And even then, their efforts for families was very small. So the fundraiser I didn't know about was a big surprise. Man, I was ugly crying about that. And even then, I had limited connection and could only see parts of it because the internet wasn't there yet. But the intentionality behind what everyone did. So with Garrett and the Starlink, the laptop, there was a headset given, a microphone. They set me up for this mobile streaming unit, even with a backpack, so that no matter what happens, I would never lose the ability to support my kids. And the heart behind that just struck me so deeply. And I was thankfully able to stream again. I think it was November. It was from my sister's house, but able to get back to it was the biggest thing, and that really helped me through that time staying there. So everybody was so instrumental in that, and you guys will never know, no matter what measure of effort you made towards that, whether it was just praying or coming into my stream or getting something off the wish list or contributing to it, you guys will never know the impact that it made on me and my kid.
Well, it also is a testimony in your community to bless them, to be able to get you back up, to be connected with them. That like when people don't understand that online and digital is actual community, they think, oh no, it's not. You can't have community if you're not in person. All of us were invested in what was going on because we knew you and we wanted to know whether we'd met you in person or not. We knew you were a person who was impacted in a real way, and we wanted to know everything that we could find out and then help in any way that we could. And then, just if people doubt that there is real community, I mean, this is just one of those examples of like, no, this is as good as it gets of the body of Christ responding, even I would say above, some of the things I've seen when it happens to somebody down the road from you and you could go help them, but you sometimes go, yeah, well, somebody else will. Here it was, no, I'm going to give what I can. I'm going to step up in whatever way I can possibly do that. It was just, I think, a blessing to your community. I know you're talking about yourself, but I want us to think about that too.
No, it is.
Yours, I know you do, but I'm just saying for people listening, is like the streaming community of the church rallied to bless your streaming community so that you could be back with them.
Yeah.
And they all saw the value of it.
Yeah.
The value of what we're talking about, online ministry.
Yeah.
And how, and especially in this particular situation, how much our forever family, as she calls it, our eternal church family is more than even blood family can be. So that's huge.
Yeah.
So during that time, so we had that happen. Whenever I sort of pick up on kind of our how we came to see it, when I came to visit her, I came with things, yes, but I came to it's weird because it took the hurricane, because we planned on seeing each other again at NCMS, and then the hurricane happened, and it was like I had to go and help. I had to
pushed us right together, and and going through all of that stuff gave me the boldness to set boundaries with the other guy and just be like, nope, you cannot treat me this way. This is not something I want around my kids. So it was very instrumental. And I would not have been open to even giving Garrett a chance if it had not been for all of these things. And when you go through something that extreme, like the pictures and all the horrific things you see do not do it justice.
Oh no, they
as
don't.
Being there in person, and knowing the people and the things that have torn down in your home and your community, horrible. But it really changes your perspective about things. God had already grown me a lot through the last decade with where my heart should be, and molding me and healing me and shaping me to have more of a servant's heart towards everyone, and given me a better perspective of not self, but serve, and to cling on to what really matters. And when you go through hard things, it really makes you appreciate every genuine gesture and every genuine heart that is willing to meet you in destruction. And Garrett just being not just willing to do it, but excited to do it, and sacrificing his own things and dropping everything to come meet a need of mine with no promise of being with me or no promise of anything. Was something that I was like, I really, I can't ignore this. There's just no way. And when he had come and we had had that connection in person, which was much different than Reach this time, it was even bigger and more. And so we had went on a date, and
we actually went on a date, our first date, at the restaurant that I now work at.
He now works there.
Very,
which is amazing.
Really interesting, because whenever I came out here, we went there, then we went to another place that's nearby, and we didn't even know, that I'd be coming out here that early, that we'd ever be engaged at that point, but also, like, I felt like I wanted to, we discussed the possibilities. You know, we're dreamers, so we discussed the possibilities as if we were ever together, would I move out here? And I said, yeah, I'd move out here to where your family is. I don't have kids. I'd come out here. Heck, I'd come out here and I'd work around here if I had to. I'd work here. So like the manager came talk to the table. I'm like, if I ended up moving out here, would you have a job for me? I'd work at a restaurant. So I was already, planning and doing these things, thinking in my head, dreaming. And then it kind of coincided, pursuing. It kind of all coincided with her officially calling it off, or at least putting the boundary is the better way, like you said.
And it's not like we were like a thing. It was, it was just a single woman having dates. You know, it wasn't like I was.
Christians are supposed to date.
Had this.
There we go.
Had this really what do you call it? Serious boyfriend, and liked Garrett. It wasn't like that. Nothing like that.
Well, we talk about how that's. Go ahead.
Yeah, like in my heart, I was like, it would not be fair to Garrett if I even let this person have an idea that he could still be in my life. I wanted it, when I gave Garrett a chance, I wanted it to be nobody else. I feel like he was deserving of that because of the quality of man that he is.
So that kind of all coalesced at the same time when we felt the need to go on a date, when it was just us, all these things we're talking about. But then it's kind of interesting because once that happened, I already told you how my mindset already was. Once that was it, I was like, okay, I'm proposing. So literally driving away after a week, I extended the stay like 3 days because I just wanted to spend more time. And we had been again, if you think we got deep in talks about life and dreams and all this stuff over the phone and text and Discord, that it's totally different when you're in person, just feeling each other's presence and talking about these things. So once that happened, I literally we were going to Walmart one night to get some coffee because everything was closed except Walmart, and they have these like cold brew cans that you can make good coffee with if you know what you're doing. And we got some of that, and while we were pulling up, I had mentioned something about again my intentions that I would want her to be my wife, and she was just like almost cheekily but also kind of half seriously being like, well, let's get my ring size.
Well,
describe it in
more
your
is Garrett, like I said, Garrett was a pursuer. And once there was nothing in the way and he knew I was giving him a real chance, he was just like, okay, when we get married, he was just, and he kind of felt a little anxious because he's like, not in a bad way or a pushy way at all. Like I said, not in a weird, desperate man way. But he knew what he wanted, and he was like, why are we messing around type thing. And he was like, we were talking about where we go, where we're going to be at after when he returns home. Like, what does that look like for us? And he was like, our connection and the things we talk about and the things we want and our feelings for each other. He's like, I feel like dating is such a cheap title for this. And he was like, he just had like this unrest. And I was like, well, if it'll make you feel better, because he had, you know, we
That's
talked
the
about
exact situation.
marriage
Yeah.
and the idea of it. I was like, would it make you feel better? When we go out, I'll get my ring size if you want to, you know, just trying to help him see, like, I'm with you in this. And like, I'm the same intentionality. So that was part of it too.
No, that's a good reminder.
Yeah, but it was very special, like going through all that, having just a different perspective, different mindset, focusing on what is really important in life and God, and us seeing, especially in person, because it was already there, not being in person, that this could be, it was undeniably a God thing. And having everything, like I told him on the phone before he even came out, he asked me if I was someone that he would, or someone that I would allow in. And I said, Garrett, because at the time I was pushing him away a little bit, just nervous single mom. And I said, Garrett, I'm going to give you my absolute honesty. If I had to write down a list of everything that I could ever dream of in a man, just deep little girl wishes and grown up wishes that I believe didn't exist, to be honest, I said you would check every single box, and then I'd have to turn the paper over and keep writing them and keep checking them off, because he was even more. And that was my honest feelings about him. And I still feel that way to this day, still having to make that list longer. So God made it very clear to us that this is what you've been waiting on. This is it.
And that's part of why I felt it wasn't just this, what I want. I'm 30 something. I know what I want. I know what I want. It wasn't an I thing. It was like, back to the idea of being willing to not have this amazing woman and letting God control it. He was like, okay, God's like, all right, I'll take it. I'll give you everything you need. And then, so long story short, with my first visit, I drove away, and on the way back ordered a ring, like immediately.
On his way back from seeing me.
Yeah, driving back to Colorado. Like, okay, let's do it. And it's funny because the ring that I picked out that we had kind of looked a little bit, I kind of like hinted, funny thing. It's like a garden ring with yeah, she'll show it. It's like a ring that has like vines and stuff.
Yeah.
And she said, I'd been looking at one just like that, just randomly. Even I think before we even met, you said you just had been.
I had just like a little Pinterest board of like ideas of what I would want in a marriage that was centered in God for the first time. Oh my gosh, really?
Camera, seriously.
Anyways,
Camera doesn't like it. Yes.
No, it doesn't. There's vines all on the side of it, and even like the shape of it. So I'd saved.
They'll just have to come
like
to Reach to
dreaming.
see it.
Yeah, exactly. Just dreaming of like what my ideal ring would be and what my wedding stuff would be and all this stuff. You know how little girls like to dream like that. And he had picked out a ring that looked almost exactly like one, and I'd never showed it to him. So that was absolutely crazy. That was.
So from there, it got into this idea of it's weird. Every time that we saw each other and then like spent time together, like we wanted to see each other more. And then it was like, oh, we got to see each other then, even though it was like this post-hurricane coming to help.
Right.
And then it was like, okay, want to see each other even more. So then that's when NCMS happened. And we can keep that one a little short because it's not, it's
not too long.
I think that was the most impactful because it's the first trip out was definitely very impactful, but then she came out to Colorado for NCMS. As you can testify, Flat Cap, it was basically we were an item, as they say.
Yep.
We didn't want to hide it. And then that's where I ended up proposing.
Not amongst these were our friends. These are
our
fellow Christian content creators, our friends. Like, I wasn't ready to reveal it to my community yet. Plus, it just happened. So,
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were also spending every moment together, and that was pretty obvious, and you weren't hiding it. It was like, oh, we're gonna go out to eat. Well, we have to make sure we're both going, or if you weren't standing next to each other, oh, well, I'm gonna make sure. I'm like, there's a lot of that going on.
Holding hands.
Oh yeah. It was so cute. It was so cute.
So it was definitely more of the trip out there than we expected before the hurricane happened, because it wasn't just a first time seeing each other since Reach. It was like it was actually something that I had been planning the whole time to propose at and figuring that out. So it was way more important.
I didn't know. I had no idea I was going to do that.
Yeah.
We talked about like maybe Christmas,
That's just to throw you off. That's what guys are going to.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
So I did basically this whole thing where I brought since I was a camera guy, I told you the same camera at Reach. I was going to do photos of us in front of the castle. And I told her I was trying to come up with the best way to do the proposal so I could get it on video. And it was like taking photos of us. And then I said,
because we're both photographers.
Right, exactly. But I'm a videographer, so I needed video. And so I ended up setting it up like it would just take a cool slow motion video of her walking away. And
I do remember the spin at Reach. It was sentimental because he wanted to get a slow mo video of him spinning me, because that was special and significant, sentimental to us. So that's how he said it. That's how he framed it. And I was like, oh yeah, that would be so special. I would love that.
And then I did a really sly, and I said, okay, after I spin you have to walk away so that she's not looking. And then you turn around and look at me in slow motion. It'll look so cool. I took that opportunity to get down on a knee.
I had no idea.
And I have a whole video that I edited with our song, one of the songs that she actually sent to me early on when she first was telling me she loved me. And it's actually a song that we danced to at our wedding.
Yeah.
For our first dance. We're very sentimental dreamers, if you guys couldn't tell.
We're very romantic.
Very romantic. So that was a really good experience. You remember the night, Flat Cap, when we had the church service?
Oh yeah.
In the castle?
Yeah.
Right? Where they did it live?
Yep.
It was right before that.
He had proposed to me on the bridge right before that.
We did
and then
that.
we went to the car because it was cold.
Right.
And we prayed. We were praying together, just so happy and, basking in it. And it was like a perfect ending to that day, to have that sweet moment, come together in the car and just pray and sharing that, and then end the night with a church service. Like, it was so beautiful. Like, what a Christian dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A fun tie-in is that, so Aki and Mama Peach are close, and they've been close friends of mine for a few years, and
this is a big one.
We shared it with them. They're like some of the only people who knew. They were actually in on a digital kind of wedding vows with my parents, so we could have witnesses when we eloped. So they've been they were in on it kind of from the beginning, but even before we knew it, because we talked about it, and Mama Peach was just like fangirling, because she was like, they've been friends with me for a while, and she always knew that she wanted me to find a good woman, and then whenever we end up finding each other, she said that she had some kind of
that God gave her a vision.
Yeah, God gave her before Reach.
Which was wild.
So we got a little freaked out, like, oh my gosh, so she told us that after we told her I'd proposed to her, and they were all excited for us and told us that, and then it was again one of those things where it just shows you God's working. And of course she was like, I knew that, but then whenever you went to go see her, I was like, okay, that's definitely it. Again, everybody knew it at that point, I guess.
Yeah, you raised all the eyebrows.
So yeah, it was a very blessed time. And then we all went out to eat afterwards and went out to that little restaurant. And it's funny because in our mind, again, we're just like, they probably know something's going on, but they don't know we're engaged. And I don't know. It was a little less involved in CMS because we were spending so much time together.
Right.
Yeah.
That it was different than just like trying to be there all the time. We only made it like a half day every day of NCMS.
Yeah. Well, also, I
We had a
had
drive,
huge
too.
allergy attacks, and that.
It was an hour and a half
Scary.
drive.
Yeah.
From the Denver area.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. You were driving
yeah,
up from Denver. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people were staying there. That would have been nice, but it was different. So.
Mm-hmm. So I'll fast forward because.
Please. I
Garrett
figured we'd
likes
get
to
to the
paint.
proposal.
Yeah.
But after that, yeah, I ended up.
Yeah.
Go ahead, fast forward.
It's okay, baby. He's like me, likes to paint pictures. We're like that. But to keep it kind of short and sum it up now to where we are, yeah, we eloped and he came out to help me move into a FEMA temporary housing to get out of my sister's place. And I was seeking a rental because I had to get my kids back in school. Their absences were going to start counting in December.
Yeah.
And when he came out initially for Thanksgiving and to help me move into the FEMA house because, back stuff. Yeah, we eloped and he stayed because he's like, you're my wife now. Like you need me. We know we want to do this. Why wait? We can still have our wedding. We can still have that celebration, but what's the point in waiting? And like I admit, like that, I needed a husband in that time. I did, and God knew that. And I'm a strong cookie. I have a lot of grit, but I have a lot of issues too, and I don't always like to admit when I need help. Garrett knows, but the Lord knows. And we got married, and us being in our mid to late 30s, we already knew, we'd already talked about, we wanted to try for a baby right away. So we tried in December. No joke, got pregnant the very first time we came together as husband and wife. We lost that baby, sadly, and that was very hard and traumatic. Just a freak accident, just a freak thing that happened. Had nothing to do with like my ability to have babies or his.
Yeah.
It was just a freak thing. And worked through that. And just to give a short rundown of that, because that I feel like that was just a miracle from the Lord. But I had a type of pregnancy that it was very rare. It's called a Molar pregnancy, where the embryo has 3 sets of DNA instead of 2, and a baby cannot survive that way. So there was no way we were ever going to be able to carry or have that baby. It doesn't work. And this type of pregnancy can cause a very rare form of cancer that is fast spreading and very deadly. And it caused cystic tumors in my uterus.
Mm-hmm.
And usually with this type of pregnancy, you have to have a DNC, a surgery to remove it. And then you typically will have to have
Healing period.
Yeah, well, you have to have a chemotherapy wash or radiation wash or something to remove any possible cancer cells or get rid of the cystic tumors. And so that was really, really hard. That was a terrible moment of grief because I had already told his parents. We had captured the moment I told Garrett on video. It was very special. Felt like, wow, this is just God's timing. It's just amazing. Like, and then having that come crashing down, it was like, but God, how, why, But long story short, I went in for the next scan after I was miscarrying at home, and was ready to schedule the surgery to have it my uterus scraped and have that radiation, or I don't know which one, chemotherapy, I don't know, one of them. and went in there for the scan. And I kid you not, we had prayed about it as a community. We had prayed about it, me and Garrett, and there was nothing. It was, God removed every single bit of it. I never had to have the surgery. I never had to have radiation or anything. And on top of that, the doctor had said, also, you're about to ovulate again.
And this is
so
rare. It's a rare case to begin with, but it's also pretty much unheard of that someone doesn't have to have that surgery or anything after that.
Right.
Crazy.
Or be able to try again. Yeah, they were, but God, and that it was just a miracle to us. And we tried for a baby again right away, got pregnant right away, and now we've got a baby girl due the day before Thanksgiving, and her name is Jubilee. Has a big sentimental meaning. Garrett, would you tell our lovely people here in chat the significance behind that biblically?
Sure, as many people probably know, but the Jubilee is an event in the Bible. It's not necessarily a feast, but it happens. I think is it every 7 years? Flat cap.
It depends on how you're using the term. There's either the 7 year or there is the 7 sevens. So, yeah.
Right. So it's 49 years.
Yeah. And then it would be, you'd have 49, and then year 50 would be Jubilee.
Exactly. Year 50 Jubilee. And then, so the idea is they would release bond servants. They would give land back to people who originally owned it, who might have it taken away. There's a lot of freedom and a lot of blessing and jubilation, which is joy. And all those themes are things that both her and I came together. What our marriage and life has become with us together. So that's what our child represents. Or we wanted her to embody. And I mean, individually, freedom from a lot of things and joy for a lot of reasons, and God working miracles. So that's kind of where we're at with it right now. I know we've done a lot of talk about how we met and what God has done in our relationship, but I know that moving on, you want to hear just a little bit about what we plan on doing.
Yeah. Well, let's just pause there for a minute too, because I you've been talking a lot, and I still want to just kind of think through some of it. It's like it is amazing, so many points, and then to go, but that was September a year ago.
Yeah.
Seriously. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think about that all the time.
So that was September a year ago, and I've got some things I'll have to connect with you whenever we're together next, just like parallel stuff in either mine or my family. Just stories like, wow, this just kind of runs parallel, but we don't have time to get into that and don't need to.
That's how God works. So yes, I'd love to hear
it. It's just so many different impact points that if I'm not constantly in you guys' stream, I don't get all of those pieces. I mean, I'm in the Reach community, but I'm not active because I'm over in my own community. And this is just the beauty is the interwovenness that there is in and out with people in the community that come in for a season and are there for part of it. So I knew a bunch of it, but then my last 6 months I've been running, and I didn't know a bunch of the stuff that's happened in the last 6 months.
We don't take it personal, just so you know.
Oh, I know you don't.
Never.
Never. I'm just saying, this is, I think, just so amazing to have time to sit and chat and reflect that you don't always get to.
Because it's you. Hope you know.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
You were there.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Yeah. It would have been cool to get invited to the proposal. I'm just saying, but
nobody knew. I picked a time. It was so funny. Nobody, it was right on that bridge. It was after breakout groups. Yeah, but nobody was outside there the whole time, so it was kind of interesting.
No, that's just super cool. Oh, I was gonna say too. You know, Reach is supposed to have the 360 cam. So if you're going this year and you're gonna do the spin, that would be amazing to do the spin on the 360 cam.
Yeah,
Be cool.
we won't be able to go because she's gonna
Right,
be
right.
due
Yeah,
too
I was figuring
close,
that.
which breaks our hearts so
Right.
much.
Well, we'll have to find a way to have you stream in live or
Mhm.
something.
That's
I'd
what people have
love
said.
to.
If there's a possibility, that'd be great. I know that next year it's going to be amazing coming with a child. And it's so funny. Whenever we did our announcement stream, my birthday weekend, it was on April 19th that we did a stream kind of announcing our marriage and all
To
the
the
things that have been
community.
happening to the community.
Yeah.
And the wedding coming up and the celebration and all that. It's so funny because like we'd already been talking about it. We're like, Romans is gonna hear about this and he's just gonna use it to promote and it's gonna be
Like,
so
Reach
Roman.
His family's
Come to Reach and find your other. And he came to chat. And we're like, oh hey Romans, and we told him, and he was just
literally said it.
He was just
Literally
so
said it.
funny. I love it.
No,
Don't
but like I
count your
say,
chance.
it is so interesting. And then even, like if you can't see where you would have been a year ago here,
Seriously.
to then think, well, what is a year from now?
Right.
It's the being patient with where God has you and what's going on. And boy, how hard is that at times to just go, but this is what I desire and this is what I want and this is what I think you're calling me to. Why can't it happen faster and so that I can see it? And so
Right. Well, especially as how slow move. You heard both our stories, how slow moving it seemed in those years before.
right.
To all of a sudden just
To all of a sudden, super
over and
speed.
over, but at the
even
same time,
like our approach to our mindset and approach to dating in general before we met each other was slow. Like I wanted it to be slow. Garrett had this whole idea of sanctified friendship before romance. Like our whole intention with it was to play the slow game, like anyone else, right? Be patient. And God was like, yeah, you think you know? You think you got plans?
and every time this past year, like especially since I've been out here, every time, like last year, this time, this was happening. Had no idea. And even was like, when we met, did you even think that we'd be here right now? It's like, no, like I'm freaked out if I would have been told this is what's going on.
And that's one of the things too. It's like you want God to tell you and you want confirmation, but you can't handle it. You really at times
you
can't.
can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth. But we do want to kind of look ahead. So let's just kind of like wrap up with looking ahead. Anything you're excited about, and then just anything else that we haven't talked about that you want to share with anybody.
You want me to start?
Please.
Yeah, I saw you look over at me. Yeah, so moving forward, like where we're at now, we're waiting for our sweet baby, that God is blessing us with, and expanding our family, and like we talked about, our dreams of farm life, and for us, farming and stuff, that's an act of worship for us, with God using plants and things as analogies all throughout His Word. So it's very significant to us, and want to live that dream. And right now rent is killing us. I'm just gonna be honest. Rent is crazy. We had to go so far out away from the mountains to even find a rental because of the hurricane destruction. I'm in a freaking suburb, bro. If you saw where I was before this, I'm a fish out of water. I can't stand it. I'm like a feral cat. I hate city life. No offense to anybody, but just did not grow up that way. That's not where my heart is. So our lease is over just a couple weeks after, or a couple weeks after I'm due. So we got to figure something out. And my kids are really struggling here. My daughter, she's dealing with a lot of racism because as Caucasians, we're a minority where we're at, and she's facing a lot of terrible things in public school. She was homeschooled before. My son's having a hard time, depression and things. And we're just wanting to get back to what is familiar, and also me and Garrett's dream. So we're actively looking for a home that has a few acres up in the mountains. Garrett's ring is a mountain range. Mine's a garden. His is a mountain range because that's our dream, garden life in the mountains. And God is making a big way for us to find a place that's affordable through the help of his family support that I've never had my whole life. And don't get me started on how amazing his parents are and how much they love me and my kids. They're just incredible. So that's where we're at, and we're very excited to take that next step and finally put roots down somewhere and live our dream. God is just taking all of our freaking mess and all of the hard things we've been through, and he is not just restoring them, but he's making them brand new, just the way he does. And when it comes to streaming, I mean, we're making a garden out of that too. We're coming together in that. Garrett often joins me on my stream. He's built such a rapport with the community. They come to him with deep theological things, but he's learning with a big community. Often you got to keep it digestible too. So there's
unless
different
it's
levels.
explicitly planned or made room for to begin with.
Yep.
Expectations matter with these things.
Mm-hmm. So where he is strong in theology, like I can keep up with him theology wise, but he has the
Or else
formal
I wouldn't.
education.
You have no clue, guys.
Yeah.
She's so
we have to keep it
analytical,
more
and she wants to dig.
digestible.
We've talked about things theologically, where like I'll try to just give her the rundown of my overall thing, and then she'll just go, "What about this? No, but what about no, but what about this?" Like she'll just keep digging, and I'm like, she's like, "No, but I want to know. Like I gotta figure this out." Like
Yeah.
she's so analytical and like deep-minded. It's like one of the reasons I first felt.
Yeah. I've learned a lot. So I have my beliefs and views when it comes to theology has been through genuinely seeking, grew up Christian, but wanted to know why I believe the things that I believe and challenge my presuppositions and gain a better understanding in order to lead in ministry. Not as a pastor. I don't consider myself a pastor. More of a peer with my community, but just had this thirst. And where I'm weak in things, Garrett is so my counterpart in that. And then where he is weak in things, that's where I'm strong when it comes to ministry. It's such a God thing. But we keep up with each other. Like it's not like he's in this deep pool and I'm just over here la la la, you know. Like we keep up with each other. But we want to join together in that. Obviously I have a bigger community because I've this is my job, and his community is smaller. He hasn't been able to be as consistent as I have, but and I want him to also have his own space. And that's something we're working towards with life changes. We don't know when that's going to kind of happen with baby and moving and stuff, but I want him to have his space in his stream where he can geek out and things. Like I think it's healthy to have his own separate thing, but also us come together on a lot of things as well. So it's very much both and also separate at times too. So that's the plan for the Funky Sass Nation. Yeah.
Right, and just to clarify, Stephanie spurs me on to ask questions that I haven't asked, and that's part of the reason why I say that. Like when I'm covering things, I think I have it covered. She's like, just bringing up new topics all the time for me and different implications for what I already believe. And I haven't had that in many people. And as Pastor Middlebrooks or our friend Pastor Prime, who we watch sermons of every Sunday, would say that there are very few people that he considers to be preachers, but Stephanie is one of them, and that is for sure the truth. Like she is a proclaimer, is what preacher means. She likes to proclaim.
High praise coming from him. I've served it. He's actually served under me in the God Gaming ministry. He's a dear friend, a gamer just like us. Wonderful. But I have no intention of like starting a Sass church or anything like that. Like, I believe the head pastor role is biblically meant for a man. Not that women are not called to ministry. Of course, everybody is.
Preaching.
Branches out, but everyone is called to preach the gospel. So I'm not exerting spiritual authority over anybody in this space, but we want to add more evangelism. We want to do that with VR chat. We're open to any creator that would come alongside us in that. That would be hard because the VR chat is wild. There's people have terrible language. Got to be patient with them. Meet them.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Have it. Yeah. Have it on my heart to grow in that space. And we want to focus on apologetics as well. Create a space where unbelievers can come in and learn and challenge their views in a place that's welcoming and it's going to hear them out and not just throw text at them. So those are two big things that we're going to start, and also accountability groups. That's a big need in the Christian space that we don't always get at church. Like you said, online community is still community. I don't believe. I believe the best version is us going to a physical church. Absolutely, there's nothing that can replace that in-person fellowship. However, if that is not in your life, you got to get fed somewhere. I'd rather someone be fed than not. So that's why we watch a sermon together every Sunday with this pastor that I was referring to, and just continuing to be more and more faith-centered in our content. So that's why you see me in the just chatting category most of the time. I'm like, we do a little bit of gaming, and that's about it.
They just need a ministering category now on Twitch.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, but you know.
Any other plans, Garrett, for you?
That's cheeky. That would be interesting. Any other plans?
Plans like for you and your content specifically?
I mean, whenever I moved here, whenever I came to be a husband and a parent to two stepchildren, who I consider my children.
Three total, but one's grown.
Three total. One is an adult, so that's just a little different. But he's been around enough for me to give wisdom, impart wisdom too, which I very much appreciate. But with a third child in house coming, and all different stages, we'll have newborn, a 9-year-old, and a 16-year-old. Like that's a bunch to come into. And when I was first here, I was searching for jobs. I was trying to find a job while also doing stay-at-home dad thing and streamer supporter. And you can ask Stephanie. I don't care what she says. I'm gonna do everything I can to keep her from exerting anything on her back for the rest of my life. So it's I'm gonna step into every role I possibly can. And I didn't stream for 9 months, and I was okay with that. I didn't care. Like that's I wasn't like hurting to stream again. I was like, higher calling. That's the first ministry, and coming alongside of her and having her encourage me to start streaming again, and being the one who reminded me about this was very encouraging. But if I have an opportunity, and if we can get into a space of fundraising, missionary style stuff where I don't have to work and we can both do ministry together,
that would be
or
a
if
dream.
I can do part-time ministry or part-time job in ministry, or if there's a way to to do anything to where I can stream more often, more regularly, and not have to work 40 hours or, work the majority of the week. I would like to get back to, because when I stream, I like to take advantage of it, and we like to take advantage of it and stream together, do devotional together, play games together, and I'd rather do that with my limited time streaming than go off and do my own thing. She's open to that. She wouldn't care if I did. But my whole point is I would want more time so that I could do that first, and then also have my own time to get back into these more geeky, like I said I did before,
more
reading books on stream and teaching straight up. And so that's what I would want.
Yeah. Well, along those lines, and when we can have this conversation, one of the things with the Church Digital that I wanted to help us be able to do was help people that were like, yeah, I really want to be a digital missionary. How do I get the funding? How do I work through that? So we have partnered with Reliant. So Reliant was there at NCMS. I don't know if you got to talk with them at all when you were there.
Good time we had there. I wish.
So
do that.
Yeah. So that began my conversations really with them, and we've partnered with them. So I'm in the process of going through that right now and trying to raise support as a missionary, and what does that look like, and how to do that. So let's keep a conversation if that's something you want.
For sure. I'd like to know all how to navigate that world, because I've navigated the world of, I considered going with Chosen People Ministries, which is a Jewish evangelism ministry. And I, for a year and a half, 2 years, and I was almost willing, I was like debating whether to actually do it before Reach 2. If I was going to do it, I would have had to raise $60,000, $70,000 a year to be a missionary with them. Now, I'm in a blessed position where I come from West Texas, where there's oil and gas money, and people in our church can support missions everywhere and do all these different things. So I've always been able to fundraise for small, short-term missions. I've always been intimidated by raising for that much, but it's possible, because we talked about Winkari. He did that.
Yeah,
he fundraised for his family, maybe not to the same degree, but he was out being a full-time missionary. It's not the most glamorous life, but it's possible.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I'm in the process of doing that, and some of it is figuring out what your needs are and all of that stuff. And they've got coaching to guide you along there. We don't need to get
back.
Yeah, and report back and figuring that out and going through all the fundraising pieces of that. And one of the reasons I'm going in that direction is I'm not trying to just be a streamer. I'm doing multiple things that God has in front of me. So I can't go to my stream and say, well, you need to support me to go do this other stuff that you don't see and you have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for that way. But I can go to Christians that I know and say, hey, you know who I am, and here's what God's calling me to do.
Right.
And maybe you're feeling called to be a partner with me. So
yeah, I think that's it, because even whenever it came to what I learned from Winkari is they were always going to different churches and talking and giving presentations, and every missionary I knew with Chosen People would took whole tours of different churches in order to give different presentations and different, and we have a sort of advantage on Twitch where you can do that, but you can also find digital ways to do that and not have to just literally fly everywhere and go to different churches in person all the time. But it's all about connections.
Yeah. That sparked our interest a lot. As soon as you started saying all that stuff with Church Digital, I had no idea about any of it. But I was like, wow. And even the courses, I want to grow in my education, and I feel like it's just going to help me lead in the community God has given me.
Yeah, I'm constantly learning and growing because we're interconnected globally with other people who are bringing their experiences in, helping us to think through the fact that I have a lens I look through things, and that is not a global lens. So I have to pause at times before I take actions and figure out, am I adding to something, or am I actually doing something that is counter to what the results that I think God's calling me to would be, and go slower in some cases than running ahead. So
Right. Yeah. So we'd love to pick your brain at
Yeah.
some point.
Yes.
absolutely.
Come
Well,
alongside you in things.
we can just
and support
async that
you.
too. If it's too hard to get something scheduled with you guys, we'll just keep a chat back and forth and
Yeah,
talk
that's
about it.
easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it's like too much to type, even doing like a voice note
Oh,
in
yeah.
Discord,
I
so
I do those often. I like doing those. I actually had thought about doing this. I never did it, but I thought about doing this as voice only channel. Like, you cannot type in this channel. You can only leave messages. Like, don't type in.
that idea. Yeah,
That's a good idea.
I haven't seen anyone do
it
it,
takes
but
time to read through it all. It's hard
yes.
for me to keep up in my own Discord.
I have too many Discords on some level, and they were chatting about earlier the fact that I hit the subscriber max that you can't subscribe to more people or follow them on Twitch.
Right.
So
Kobe was saying that too. Isn't it like 2,000 or something?
can't remember if it was 2,000 or 2,500. Somewhere along there was the max.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. So I had to stop following people.
Princess just followed.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you reach max on Discord servers too?
No, though, I can't remember if that's 99 or 100. Jate told me that there's a max there, but it's like I stopped following individual streamers. I'm only following communities for the most part, or like a church. Yeah. So if you're just a one-off, I might follow you to begin with, just to support you if I know you and you're getting started. But after a while, it's like I just drop everybody that's like, oh, just an individual, because I just don't have time to be invested.
People that aren't consistent too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
That's so cool. You know that many people though. Wow.
I don't know that I know them
How
that
long have
well.
you been
I just follow Christian streamers every place that I pop off
Guilty.
into. So, like, for instance, if I was in your stream and then there's a bunch of people that are clearly Christians who are in your stream, I just start following everybody. So that's what I was doing when I first got started. I just follow everybody. Oh, I don't stream. That's all right. I'll follow you anyway. So then I had to go back and unfollow
That's
people
cute,
that don't
though.
stream.
Aw.
So,
Exactly.
Just get so excited to meet other believers.
yeah, that's what I was doing to begin with, because that's one of the things I felt I was supposed to do, was connect people. Because a lot of people, when I got on, were all feeling like I'm the only one doing this. I'm alone over here. Nobody understands, and I'm like, no, there's a lot of us that are here, and some are here for a season, and some, are no longer here, and maybe they'll come back again. But I think it's just better when we are connected with each other.
How long have you been streaming total?
I'm trying to think if I just had, was it 4-year or 5-year stream anniversary? I can't remember which one it was. I'd have to go look at what it was.
During COVID?
I'm trying to remember what year it was. I can't remember.
That's my first reference I could give to narrow it down.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what year it was.
You used the stimulus too, didn't you?
Yeah, but it might have been a little bit later. So.
Okay.
I used the first one to pay bills. The second one.
Yeah, it was the second one that
Yeah.
Same.
I had to use for a PC. I had clients waiting on photos and my computer crapped out. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I ended up, what year was, so here, let me just figure it out. Yeah, it would have been 20. So that'd be 5 years, I think. So I started watching, it'd be 21. It'd be 21. Because I resigned December of 20. That's what it was. And then I was sitting home for January, February, March of 21, and then started streaming in August of 21.
Yeah, because I started following you 3 years ago, almost 3 years and 2 months ago. I was just looking it up to make sure.
Yeah, I was a little bit later after that.
I'd have to pull up my other channel to figure out how long I've been following you two. So
I'm sure it's around exactly the same time.
probably
a little bit before, probably too. because you came to my chat before I was like, oh,
Yeah,
who's
that's
this random dude? And then I saw your actual name on Facebook for a while
Yeah.
after you friended me, and then I was just like, oh yeah, that's Flat Cap.
yeah.
People-
Yeah, it's funny, people that don't know my real name and have no idea, and it's like, well, okay. And
It's a unique name.
it
But
is.
then you see the cap, and then I see you literally liking everything about me going live or Facebook Lives, and I'm like,
Well, you've
like this
done
stuff.
Facebook Live.
Hmm.
How is that?
Oh, it's okay. I did multi-streaming.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, never did that. I've streamed Twitch and TikTok.
Well,
Yeah,
nowadays you kind of have to just pick one.
Yeah. Well, like I say, a lot of people get all this AI curated stuff for you to go follow random people you don't know. Pretty much, I get all people that I know because I like people that I know, no matter if I watch it or don't. I just like and heart and share when I do watch and comment, and it's like it just keeps sending me people that I like. So not a whole lot of new people. I got to find them on Twitch. So
Yeah.
all right. Well, this has been amazing and way longer than I thought I was going to be up. But
Wow.
Ernie.
it is.
I'm so sorry. Don't
No.
hate me tomorrow.
No worries. Don't worry about that. But you know, just thinking through that, I actually have a chance to meet in person someone else that is a streamer tomorrow. They live in the same state, so they're going to be on my side of the state tomorrow. So hopefully that works out to meet up with somebody I haven't met up with yet. So
That's awesome. Who is it, if you don't mind me sharing? Or if it's too personal, you don't have to answer. It's okay.
sure. Now I got to think of. I'm thinking of somebody
you're in the
else I
great
got to
state
meet
of
with.
Texas, aren't you? Are you in the great state of Texas?
No, I'm in Michigan. I went to seminary in Texas.
That's what it was. I
That's
knew there
what it
some
was.
connection.
Yes.
I lived in Michigan for a short time.
Ah,
They
Which-
loved my accent up there.
I
Good.
bet.
Seminary.
It's Wordy Girl, is who.
Oh, I love her.
Yep.
Sorry, it echoed. I got loud.
No,
I love her.
quick. What seminary in Texas?
Dallas Theological.
Dallas Theological.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a good one.
All right, are you guys staying on the rest of the night still? Or are you getting off?
Yeah, we're going to watch a sermon on my channel.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Then
Garrett's probably going to get rest. He's got work tomorrow.
okay. Then
Yeah.
I will raid out to your channel. So if you're still streaming, we raid out to you, and if not, we try to do a double raid to bless somebody else. So I will raid over, and that'll be fun. Say hi to everybody, and then leave.
Raid over to Steph, because I might do that eventually at some point too,
Yeah.
if we don't raid at the same time. But
Well, Black Cap, thank you so much for inviting us to do this. Thank you for being patient, and you're just such a blessing to us and to so many people in the community. I know you have such a heart for people, not just your chat and not just to help your stream grow, but you want to come alongside so many people. It is not unnoticed. You're just a genuine, awesome brother. We appreciate you so much. You're the first and only person that we've come and shared our story with, and it's so sentimental that it was with you.
I feel
So,
honored.
Yeah, thank you. We love you. We appreciate you so much.
Hey, I love you guys too.
You guys, please go follow Black
Love you,
Cap
Brad.
and Church Digital. I'll give them shouts too.
Yeah, I say it would be great if you were at Reach, but if you're at NCMS in April, I will be there as well, because
That's a possibility.
right.
that's kind of what I'm seeking to try to do, is to go to all of those. That's where I was just at, Hopeful Disasters, HopeCon, and trying to...
Funk Railroad just followed.
You know what? I was going to tell everybody thank you for all the follows, so I'll do that in just a second.
There we
But
go.
try to go and follow all of the different Christian communities, and if there's a gathering that I can be there and find out what they need and how to bless them, that's what I'm trying to do.
Jiggle Sarah just followed.
You're a blessing, my friend.
Thank you. All right, let
We love
me...
and appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. All right, let me try to go through. So we
Silence
are at...
Noise_ just followed.
I think we're at almost 20 new follows for this stream.
Nice.
So let me go back.
Thank y'all for following.
Yes, thank you. Let's see, 5 hours ago.
Thanks for showing support.
Oh, that was a raid
Mhm.
5 hours ago. That's when wow, it's 5 hours ago?
Seriously, I'm telling you.
Man.
I looked up, I was like 4 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay. So let's see. Annika Gaming came in with the follow. Luz came in with the follow. Apicola, Slowsome, Darka
Oh, yep, no,
Tina. Yeah, these are people that came in early before you.
Tinta.
Yeah. The real
Yep.
Pastor Brian, Akaskus,
Akakis.
Splosius, Egg Wife. That's funny.
Wife.
Yeah, EG Wife. Sorry.
It's okay. I just know these people.
Agador. Yeah, I'm sure you know some of them. The Devastating Light Beam.
Mm-hmm.
It's Matthew.
Drafroska, Office
Russia
Demon,
Game seat just
Daughter of
followed.
Zion. So, and then there's more, but I'm going to end up rating out here before we get done.
Hey.
So,
Oh, it's rated me already.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep, I was figuring I'm reading those too slow, but
Fancy meeting y'all here.
thank you for that. Have a blessed rest of your evening, and
You too, brother.
I'll get the
Thank you
podcast
so
out
much.
probably next month sometime. So it'll be out there, and I'll link you to it. So it'll be awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for letting us ramble. Paint pictures.
That's all good. All right, love you guys. Have a good evening.
Exactly.
Love you. God bless.
Love you, Flat Cap. We'll see you soon.